The story begins at Seoyun High School, where a teacher is discussing natural disasters. Natural disasters are ill-starred events of nature, he explains, referencing floods, earthquakes, and typhoons. Do I even need to give examples now that the world is being overrun by natural disasters? As the teacher continues speaking, two students are seen having a conversation. The chubby student mutters, "I feel like throwing up every time I see big words." The student beside him nudges him and says, "Take a look at this." "Don't touch me." The chubby student groans, still feeling nauseous. "Dumbass. I want you to see this," his classmate retorts, thrusting his phone toward him. Finally, the chubby student takes a look at the phone, where a video shows a man fighting a monster. With a shocked expression, he shouts, "That's a superhuman. This video is super close and has good quality. Way better than the others I've seen." His classmate nods in agreement. "You're right. Whoever recorded this basically risked their life." He chuckles. What would they have done if they'd gotten caught in the fight? The chubby student agrees. "That person is an amazing bastard." "Oh my God," the chubby student exclaims as they watch the superhuman slam his foot into the monster's face. "That looks unreal," the other student remarks, his tone filled with awe. "I'd be screwed if I ever ran into either of them." They scroll through the comment section of the video reading reactions, some declaring it the end of the world, others sending condolences to the police, and one bold commenter claiming he wouldn't have run, but would have fought to protect his family, even if it meant dying in the process. Their chatter draws the attention of their teacher, who calls them out. But they're saved by the bell, literally, as the alarm sounds. Signaling an emergency. The students erupt into chatter. Some are excited, hoping classes will be canceled. A voice from the alarm system cuts through the noise. This is an alert from the Inhuman Alert System. A possible Inhuman has been spotted near Incheon Port. As a result, all classes are canceled. Students and faculty should head home immediately. The class becomes chaotic. The teacher hits his ruler against the desk to quiet everyone. The semester just started, and it's already disorganized, he scolds. Don't shove each other in the hallways, and go straight home carefully. A girl in the class sighs to herself. Again, it's only been a week. This is the third time this year, and it's happening more often. She remembers a past incident where an Inhuman wiped out Gangnam, killing 70 people. It would be bad if another like that appeared again, she thinks, turning her gaze to a classmate whose head is still resting on his desk, seemingly asleep. What in the world? Is he seriously sleeping through this? She wonders. She tries to wake him, but his phone begins to ring. He picks it up, answering casually, "Hello." The girl looks at him, bewildered. "What?" he asks, noticing her stare. "You were asleep," she says. "There was an alarm. You need to go home." "I know." He yawns, stretching. "I'll go." What's up with him? She thinks. He's so carefree. He's definitely not going to live long. He grabs his bag, revealing a costume inside. "Got my earpiece. Everything's here," he thinks, contemplating whether to change in the bathroom. He heads out inconspicuously. Meanwhile, at Incheon Port, a man is seen driving a truck at high speed, aiming to ram into a monstrous creature. "Die, you monster," he yells, only for the truck to crash into the beast harmlessly. "What in the world?" the man exclaims in horror. The monster stares blankly at him before crushing the truck with one swing of its hand. Nearby, another man hides behind a container, his face pale with fear. Beside him, a coworker cries, muttering, "It's all over." Grabbing him by the shirt, the first man hisses, "Man up and stop making so much noise if you want to live." He calls the crying man Jaegu and reminds him that the military is on its way. Jaegu wipes his tears and tries to calm down, but as he looks up, he freezes. Standing above them on the container is the Inhuman. Back at the school, Juri can be heard through Kang's earpiece, urging him to hurry. "The situation is bad," she says. "Got it," Kang replies, adjusting his earpiece. "Do you have everything?" Juri asks. Yes, everything's hidden, Kong assures him. But I'm worried because you're usually sloppy, Juri. Just run. It's only 11 minutes away. He snaps. On it, Kong responds, taking off at full speed. The scene shifts back to the port, where the Inhuman is attacking workers. One worker tries to fight back, but is instantly killed. Another is hurled into a container.
There was an error in the script. After here, what should have been said is, another man was spotted running by the Inhuman. The Inhuman caught up to him and was about to kill him, but
a screwdriver strikes its head, distracting it momentarily. The boss of the workers shouts, I told you to stop, you pig monster. The scene cuts to Kong, racing toward the port. Juri warns him, be careful. The strength of this monster is unknown. I can see the port, Kong says. At the port, the boss calls out to a terrified coworker, urging him to run. The Inhuman glares at the boss, but starts walking away. Just as relief washes over the man, the monster grabs a container and hurls it at him. In that moment, Kong appears, blasting the container away with a powerful kick, leaving the boss speechless. It's dangerous to throw stuff like that, Kong says nonchalantly. The next chapter begins with Juri asking Kong, are you nervous? Kong doesn't respond, staring down the Inhuman. The creature stares back at him with a fierce, yet confused look on its face. Kong then asks Juri, should I talk to it? Viewing the scene through a camera attached to Kong, Juri replies, yes. It's a slim chance, but we should take it. Juri then reminisces about a time he told Kong to talk to them before fighting. He had stated back then, even though they are animals who deserve to be beaten to death, if you come across one that can talk, it might help us find our objective. Back in the present, Kong asks the Inhuman, can you speak? I've met others like you before, and they couldn't. The Inhuman slowly begins to mutter, but then roars in an unknown language, launching an attack simultaneously. Kong swiftly dodges, but the monster immediately leaps again, blasting him into a container. Kong quickly recovers, leaping off the container and putting some distance between himself and the Inhuman. He says, look at that. You're way faster than you look. A worried Juri asks through the communicator, are you okay? You need to be more careful. At the same time, a news helicopter hovers above, broadcasting the fight live. The scene shifts to show the arrival of the Inhuman Special Task Force. A man tells the soldiers to keep their weapons on standby. Another man refers to him as Captain. The entrance is too narrow for the tanks and railguns to enter. The subordinate says, that's fine. The captain replies, but keep the weapons on standby. The subordinate hesitates before adding, however, if we're escalating to capture Plan A. The captain interrupts him. Don't you get it? You can't grasp the power of an Inhuman. Our weapons can't kill it. The intelligence agency analyzed the fights of White Cap, he says, referring to Kong. His power easily exceeds the military standard force levels. The same goes for the Inhuman. If the superhuman loses, there's nothing we can do. The subordinate, looking confused, asks, then why are we even here? The captain interrupts again, saying, even guys like us have a plan B. The scene shifts to a crowded city where people have gathered to watch the showdown on a massive billboard. Kong is shown being chased by the Inhuman. He thinks to himself, he's definitely fast. That's why you don't judge a book by its cover. In that moment, the Inhuman launches an attack. Kong barely dodges by the skin of his teeth. Leaping from the top of a container, he launches himself downward, but the Inhuman counters by shooting its tongue at him. Kong barely dodges again, losing his balance. The opening allows the Inhuman to grab him and toss him violently. Kong bounces off the ground, crashing through a container. Juri calls out in worry, Kong, are you okay? Even the captain and his subordinate are left in shock, wondering if Kong has been defeated. The captain suddenly remembers his mission is to assist. He orders, deploy B. The back of a truck bursts open, and a large figure jumps out, landing on top of it. He steadies himself, aims his rifle, and fires at the Inhuman. The bullet hits the creature directly in the head, dropping it instantly. But to everyone's horror, the Inhuman gets back up.
If you have reached to oh 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 the end, remember to like and subscribe. Oh